Real or robots kind of made me laugh because I feel like this is actually something that could happen. A lot of the time with Rugrats, the babies do things that really wouldn't happen in real life or would be so dangerous they just wouldn't survive. But Real or Robots actually has an element of believability about it. This is the first segment in the 8th episode of the first season, and I don't know if I remember it. The brilliant nostalgia of the characters is still there, but with regards to this specific episode, I have a very faint recollection of this episode. But Tommy and Chuckie, after watching this TV show, start to wonder if Stu is a robot. And while Stu is asleep, they approach him and try to probe him and open up his chest. And I can genuinely see children doing this, kind of manipulating their parents when their parents are asleep and, shining lights in their faces. And particularly if a parent is absolutely exhausted and can sleep through anything, I can really see. I mean, it does happen. We hear of children, drawing on their parents' faces when they're asleep and things. So I found it was a narrative that was very easy to buy into. And I could truly see this happening in real life. Maybe not a baby quite as young as Tommy's age, but maybe Chuckie. And Stu is sleepwalking, which can, I guess, kind of seem quite robotic because you can do things when you sleepwalk that you maybe couldn't ordinarily do, or your movements are a lot more mechanical. So I can see children genuinely seeing if their parents are robots or not. So I thought it was a very believable narrative, a very convincing narrative. I believed Tommy and Chuckie's motivations because, well, I watched The Little Vampire when I was a little bit older than Chuckie and suddenly thought that every moth was a vampire bat. So absolutely you can believe that they would see this thing on television and start to think, well, maybe Stu is a robot. The way it unfolded, I thought was very well. The narrative developed well. It was very well animated. We have some great There's this bit where Stu is sleepwalking and he walks into the kitchen and we kind of see the kitchen through his perspective, but it's slightly warped, as if it would be if he had, kind of just slightly hazy, not really awake vision. And I just thought it was very well done. Tommy's gums seemed to be a little more red than usual. I don't know. This is the version that's on Paramount Plus on Amazon Prime, and I hadn't noticed it before. I don't know if it's just this episode or just the earlier animation quality, but yeah, Tommy's gums seemed a lot more kind of orangey red. But aside from that, it seemed very well animated. I think the narrative was very believable, very well developed, some great bits of animation. Really, definitely a solid episode. As I said, I don't really remember it. There are tiny bits that ring a very faint bell, but the nostalgia is still there for me. So watching it for what I'm considering is the first time as an adult, I have an appreciation for the quality story and the decent animation, minus Tommy's rather bright gums. But I think it's one that I would have liked as a child as well. I don't know why I don't remember it, but never mind.